Yes,
So,
they were
so
all
what
there.
was, yeah, yeah. So what was the state? I mean, at that time, Google was, super known and sexy to have, the free meal company and nice, sexy campus of 2008. Now, so to talk me through the thinking, and not really necessarily specific to Google, but just generally of health and wellness at that time, and in relation to like corporate in a corporate setting, because it's and how it's evolved over the last 10 years, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, so at that time, I think I came in, there were about, I want to say maybe 10 or 15,000 employees. Now I think we're pushing 150,000. So it's been 10x growth in my time there. And when I came in, it was pretty early on where financial controls such as budgets were just starting to be really enforced, which sounds insane. But for the growth trajectory Google was on, like the philosophy up until then was just pour gas on the fire. And so at that point, Patrick Pichette, who was our previous CFO, he came in around the same time I did. And, he was additional adult supervision and started walking around saying like, if we want to keep growing at this size, we need a little bit more structure and some guardrails. And so things like budgets started to appear, but, versus what another company would spend on these types of programs, it was still off the charts. And so at the time I came in and I remember walking around our Mountain View campus and saying, wait, there's 4 different fitness centers here. Like they're doing dance classes, they're playing sports in the parking lots. For offices that didn't have on-site gyms, we still found ways to do yoga classes or help reimburse your fitness membership. And so for 2008, this was all just mind blowing. This isn't even to mention all the free food, the massages, the meditation communities. And so it was just like way more than was available at any other company I'd seen. However, like I think now, if I think about what I'm trying to achieve in the field, it's not just to help Google figure this out and manage and help nurture the health and well-being of their employees. It's any organization. So really the dream and the moonshot is that employers and organizations are they're this huge platform for human flourishing if we can figure it out, where the human flourishes, the organization flourishes in a virtuous cycle. And so since then, as we've grown and more of the cost controls have come in, more structure, more enforcement of budgets for very, very, very good reasons, because we are running a business, you have to figure out this tension of like, okay, more cost controls, but the health and well-being challenges continue to grow, and I need to figure them out at a larger scale. And on the one hand, some would argue like, oh, well, Google's not just freely spending on this anymore, they're losing their culture. I would actually argue like, no, this is how innovation happens with constraints. And so this is the evolution of it. And if I really want to do this in a way where, any organization could do it, we got to figure out that tension. So that's where we are today and where we're growing to. And sometimes it's less fun than just freely spending with less controls.
Yeah.
But I know we'll ultimately do more good by figuring this out.
Yeah, yeah.